Today we're talking about brand strategy and why you need one. Hey, I'm Michelle Coyle, and this is Queer Hustle, where we help queer entrepreneurs learn to start up, scale, and thrive. Now, listen, you've heard a lot about brand strategy. You might hear agencies throwing that around or other people, but what does that really mean? We are going to get into that right now, today, immediately. Okay, so first of all, when people talk to me about brand, a lot of times, especially startup entrepreneurs, they're thinking of it in terms of logo, color scheme, fonts, things like that. A brand is way more than that stuff. That stuff is important, but those are expressions of the brand. That's not the core of the brand. The actual brand is the core, is the soul, the heart and soul of your business. It's the essence of everything you do, and it's what underlies how you communicate to your audience about everything. It doesn't only inform tactics and things like logos, fonts, colors, or ways that we advertise or messages that we use. It also informs things like what kinds of service lines do we introduce, what kinds of employees do we have. It's the essence and the core that ties everything together in your entire business. So it's very, very important. Okay, so at the core, the brand is really the intersection of the question, what do we do and who do we do it for? The brand answers the key question, which is why. Why am I doing this? Why are we doing this? Why does this matter? How does it help? Why do people need it? Right? And what is this business really all about? Right? Especially since most of you are probably in a business that is provided by many other people, depending on any kind of product or service that you're delivering. There's lots of other people that are doing that. There's lots of other businesses that are doing it. The brand answers the questions, why you? Why should someone engage with you or your business versus any of the other ways that they could get this particular need met? Okay, so when we're looking at brand from a business standpoint, we're not just looking at, what you do and who you do it for and how you do it, but we're also looking at how you're positioned against your competitors and why it's more important that somebody come with you or that a certain type of person come with you and engage with your business versus getting that need met somewhere else, right? And when you look at any kind of industry, like let's take the food industry, there are high-end fancy steakhouses that feed people, but also meet a specific need for a type of experience, right? A type of food, a type of atmosphere. You might, go there for an important business meeting or an important date, right? That's going to meet a different need than McDonald's, which is also meeting the same core need of food in your belly, but maybe you're going to go there when you have 5 minutes and your kids are screaming in the backseat and you just need to throw nuggets at them, right? So same need being met at the core, but very different use cases, very different audience that they're speaking to at a different time in their life. And even if you're the kind of person that, like I am, very much enjoys a fancy steak and going to McDonald's, right? You're going to be enjoying those things at different times and for different reasons. And those businesses are branded very differently and marketed very differently, even though at the core they're meeting the same needs, right? So you want to look at how you're positioned, what needs you're meeting, at what time and for what people, and how that's positioned against the competitors. That's really, really important. Okay, if you do not have all of this stuff figured out, what happens is, and this is a common mistake that people make in small business, so don't beat yourself up if this is what's been happening to you. But if you haven't taken the time to really figure that brand strategy out, what happens is that you're wasting money on a lot of tactics because you're kind of trying in real time to say, oh, what if I say this? And what if I say this to these people? And what if I do this? And what if I try this? We call that spaghetti on the wall because you're throwing a lot of stuff up and you're kind of trying to see what sticks. And you may get some data out of that eventually. You may start to figure out by kind of trial and error what works and what doesn't. But that is a really inefficient way to do that. You're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of money, and it's going to be slow going. You're going to be very frustrated if you do that. Whereas if you have your brand strategy figured out and nailed down and you take the time to figure that out, you're going to be much, much more successful right out of the gate with your tactics because you're going to know who's my audience, where are they, why do they care, what types of ways do I need to get in front of them, what are the messages that are going to resonate with them, and all those things. So now by the time I'm actually to the point of putting something out there, putting some money behind it, putting some time into creating it, I actually know there's a decent chance that it's going to work, or if it doesn't work, there's only probably a few tweaks that need to be made versus just kind of trying to sort through the randomness. So if you don't have this figured out, you're going to be wasting all this time and money. But when you do have this figured out, what you're doing is more than just effectively advertising and selling, because yes, that's important, but you're also building trust with your audience because you're putting out a consistent message, image, essence over time that's going to build trust with them. And that's how we warm up people from completely cold traffic, never heard of you, to, oh, you're somebody that I'm interested in, I kind of feel some trust with, some camaraderie with, I might want to engage with you. And when I say you as somebody, it might be you as a person, or it might be you as a business, or a brand as a business, right? I may have some trust in a brand like Apple. That's not a person. There's Tim Cook, but I don't think of it as a person, but I think, oh, I trust the brand. I use Apple products. I know that they're going to work together, and I know that they're going to consistently perform the way that I expect them to perform. So you want to build trust in your own brand, in your business brand, or your personal brand, depending on how you're approaching this or what kind of business you have, that tells people that they know what they're going to get from you. And that's on the good side and the bad side. Maybe what they're going to get is something good. Maybe they know that they consistently hate you, and that's good too, okay? Because the strongest brands are not afraid to upset people. They're not afraid to piss people off. They're not afraid to alienate people. They know that in order to be efficient, we want to speak to the audience that we want to speak to, and we kind of want to get rid of everybody else because we don't want to waste our time engaging with people that aren't going to end up being followers anyway, right? So the way to build a really strong following when you're building that trust, building that consistency, is to not be afraid to upset the people on the fringes of what you're saying, but to really only speak to the people that you're speaking to. Because for each angry person that you generate this way, you are also going to be generating a rabid fan, and that is the name of the game, is building up your following, building up the fan base for the brand, so that now you have something that can start to efficiently scale, because every effort that you make into getting a message out is now duplicated by being amplified by your rabid fans and by your following. So that's why you need a brand strategy. That's the name of the game. That's how it's done. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope this helped a little bit today. If you like this video and others like it, go ahead and hit subscribe. We're trying to build our Queer Hustle following too. So we'd love for you to be a queer hustler and be in our group with us. If there's anything that you want to talk about or that you want us to address, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know. We always like to hear from you, like to engage with you. And if you like this video, I've got something special for you in the link description, in the comments. You can check it out. I've got a free guide for queer entrepreneurs to turning it around, getting thriving right now in these hard times. Would love for you to check that out too. And we'll see you next time. Bye.